intro the show unless I see myself. There we go. There we go. Now I can see myself. Welcome to the fast break. Everybody's going to check in. Oh, let's say the early and often.
He's
Great
on time today.
Hey,
He's on
look,
time
you
today.
know what I mean?
It's gonna be a good show.
Hey,
It's gonna
look.
be a good show.
time. Our boy Shaz. Shaz is always recording from an undisclosed location. We
He has
can
got to
never.
that fast break cribs. He got to that fast break cribs.
We can never truly confirm nor deny where Shaz is currently shooting from.
Ain't no
It's
need
always
for,
undisclosed.
ain't no need for that. Ain't no need for
Don't
that.
call me. Don't call
He's always
me.
deep cover black ops, but it is what it is. Welcome to the fast break. Leslie and Teta checking in. We've got our resident basketball purist, Lesedi Devere. We've got Breezy in the building, Emmanuel Shine, and Shaz Alenes. Gentlemen,
What's
how you
going
guys
on?
doing?
What's going on? What's
All good?
going on?
Healthy,
alright,
healthy.
dog.
No complaints.
Guys, thanks for coming. I organized this to ensure that we could do this without Goki. The Nets.
Impromptu something. Impromptu something. We sent an invite.
We gonna throw a bunch of shade at the Nets today. That's the plan for today. It's basically the roast of the Brooklyn Nets. No, I'm kidding. Guys, I need to tell you the wildest story actually. So there's this run, this like basketball run that happens every Wednesday, right? It's called the Wednesday run in Joburg. And but the way
I've heard of this
choose,
myth. I've heard of this myth.
Brian, listen to how they choose who plays, right? It's so what happens is one guy says, yo guys, let's get a list, and it's maxed at 15. If you don't put your name on the list, and it happens in a split second in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, if you don't put your name on the list, you're not part of the 15 and you can't come scrimmage. Dog, I missed the list
That makes
and I'm not
sense.
scrimmaging. No, that's y'all's, bruh. It's like a
That
draft.
makes sense.
It's about fastest
Yes.
fingers.
Nah,
Yes.
it's about who's hungry. If you're
Yes.
about it, you'll be there, dog.
Dog. No,
It's covert,
bro.
dog. It's covert. How you gonna
Shaz,
be
I was
there?
in a
It's
meeting.
covert.
I was in a meeting.
Holla at me, Les.
Shaz,
I'm important, Les.
always the
I'm important. Holla at me, baby. Holla at me,
okay. I'd Rob Palinka.
No,
But
let's
anyway,
come catch me on the way. Let's go ball. Come catch me on the way. I got a bone to pick with Shaz.
that thing kills me, dog. You just see names, dog, and I checked my phone. And I was like, Oaks, I'm not even in the 15. That's bears. But anyway, that's how South African scrimmage gets started. And on that note, let's jump straight into the Basketball Africa League. Tons of stuff have happened in basketball since the last time we spoke, since last Thursday. Basketball Africa League kicked off. WNBA kicked off. The NBA logged off. But let's go straight into it. Breezy, we see you. Oh, the other Breezy. Let's not make that weird. But nonetheless, let's go into the Basketball Africa League, guys. It just kicked off. We all watched the inaugural game. It was, a lot of hype. We had our boy J. Cole. I don't want to get into the drama, but generally speaking, what are some of your first feelings about what you've seen in the Basketball Africa League? What are your sentiments about the league? And I think I want to start with our resident pro, Emmanuel Shine. What are your feelings on the Basketball Africa League?
First of all, I heard a lot of guys talking trash about J. Cole. I mean, guys, this guy is 36, almost 37. He's never played pro basketball in his life. Coming up against the youth of Africa. I don't know what you guys expected.
He obviously doesn't respect us. How is he going to come out at 36 and think he's good enough? That's the problem.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because surely there's a better player than him. I don't deny that. But that better player would not have been as good for business as J. Cole is. You know what I mean? Because that other player would be on the bench, not bringing in any money. But J. Cole can be there, even if he's on the bench, 15 minutes against an easy team, and still bring you the money. That's what I'm
J. Cole
thinking.
bring in? This ain't All-Star Weekend, man.
Hey, that jersey gonna sell. I try to tell you, bro.
This ain't no damn All-Star Weekend, man. Keep J. Cole
But
out
guys,
of
Also, not only that, everyone is talking about it because everyone in America, because his album also dropped, people in America are saying J. Cole is playing. People are trying to tune in. So you can't say that. And then
Brandon,
the other thing,
stop this, man.
No. Can we mute Brandon? Can someone mute Brandon? How does it work?
So wait, Shine. So are you happy that J. Cole taking somebody's spot?
yes, I'm okay with that, because the 12th man would have sucked anyways. He wasn't going to get game time. We all know the 12th man on the roster doesn't get game time. It doesn't matter what team you play for. Jared Dudley is on the Lakers roster, but I mean,
There's a better
player than Jared Dudley. There's a better player than Jared Dudley, but only difference is that other player would also sit on the bench. So rather have Jared Dudley.
Okay, can anybody tell me about their feeling on the Basketball Africa League besides anything
Yeah, I was
relating to
getting
J.
there.
Cole?
I was getting there. What you mean, Liz? This guy's just obviously got me sidetracked. There's a
Get
player
there,
that I
bro.
really like.
Get there, bro.
There's a player that I really
Get
like,
there.
Brandon Costner. I must admit. At first, he plays for the Patriots. At first, I thought he was holding up the game, too slow to move up and down. But man, when this guy got going, that lucky lefty, shooter, post block, post work,
And that man
everything.
knocked it down in the second quarter.
No,
Just hit
listen,
it.
he's the real deal. Although I'm just worried that when he plays against some more athletic bigs of other countries, he's not very mobile. So quite a few fouls. I see fouls happening. I don't see him getting off the way he did against the previous team. So that's my take on it. But overall, this is amazing to see, man. And we've got our own ref, South African ref there. So shout out to him. I think it's Charles, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
I know the guy. We've seen the guy. We've seen him. He's ref some BNL games. Shaz, what's your take on the Basketball Africa League, man? How did you feel about the inaugural game?
Firstly, I got to shout out my OG QD for Denason. It's so dope to see him on commentary at that level. Shout out to Quentin Denason. He's been such a pillar.
Oh, he's there?
Yeah, he's doing the commentary, which is dope.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about the depths, but whatever.
Okay, cool.
I know why.
I can tell you a story. I can tell you a story about that. But
I know why they're giving him that too. But I'll get to that.
I have this. You both have different feelings about what that chop is, but nonetheless, continue, Shaz.
QD for life is my guy, so I'm gonna dap him up. I really love how Zamalek is playing. They got this PG who is incredible. I forgot his name, but he was balling the game I watched. So I'm backing Zamalek. Hopefully they push on, and any team against the Patriots. It's nothing personal, J. Cole.
But also they played against the right team. If we're being honest, they played against Ferroviario de Maputo, and that team was
by the name. I was dead by the name. I was the name Zamalek.
Yeah, that was the worst. I saw like it was like a 40 point lead, something like that. 113 to 66 or something like that. Something ridiculous.
Oh no, that's another team. That's 41.
Lesedi, what's your take on the Basketball Africa League, dog? How did you feel about the inaugural game? How do you feel about everything us finally getting going?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, like for me, what I saw watching the type of basketball they were playing, it gave me a bit of a reminder of how EuroLeague is played. A lot of versatile bigs, and I saw a lot of 4 out, 1 in on offense as well. Like a lot of the fours playing on the outskirts of the 3-point line. It was very interesting to see, rather than a lot of your bigs have a lot of physical presence inside and just putting the ball inside and then crashing boards. So it's interesting to see, and I think moving forward, it'll just see rather than people using their physicality, it'll be more of guys using their IQ, seeing how people use the space as well. So it'll be very interesting to see moving forward. And then there's this one guy on, I think one of the team is AS Montour. I forgot. I think that's how you pronounce the name.
Montasir.
Yeah, there's this guy who's very lethal at the 3, very versatile, very lanky build. So I think he's one of the guys, especially the same guy Shine mentioned. He was also very impressive, especially a guy of his build. It was very impressive to watch. So yeah, I think good start.
I don't know too much about the individual teams or players at this rate. I think yeah, but in terms of the league itself, I'm impressed. I think the camera quality, the commentary, the floor, the way the kit is put together, the way it's sponsored by MJ, I think over and above how the dudes are playing, I think it's going to take a while. Sorry, to answer my Buddha's question, ESPN sometimes, my man, they might broadcast 1 or 2. I also didn't see it on NBA.com, by the way. But anyway.
No, you can watch games on the website, on the official BAL website. The BAL website.
Straight on the website.
Yeah.
So back to my point. I think I'm very, very impressed with the quality of the court, the kits, the reffing so far as well. I think it all looks good, man. It all looks like it's top notch. It all literally looks like it's the best league we have on the continent. And I hope these dudes do well, bro. I really hope dudes can really make something of this. And I think, the toughest thing is that there's no team ripping from South Africa. But overall, I think this league is going to be good for a lot of people. And it looks like even outside of, I think sponsors will come as and when time goes by. J. Cole, shout out to Shaz. But I think in terms of the league overall, I'm damn impressed. And if this is how it starts in its inaugural season, it's only going to get better and better as time goes, as they start correcting something. So I'm damn impressed, bro. It's exciting to see.
Yeah.
I'll let you
Sean,
speak,
can
but I
I
have
say
one
something?
criticism.
You'll
Yeah,
let
Liz.
me speak. I will speak. Nah, look, I'm actually right there with Brian. I don't think I could really speak much on particular players as yet. Which teams I think are gonna roll, but it's exciting to see. I won't lie, since probably all of us started lacing up when we were 14. 15 plus years later, I never really thought we'd actually ever have this. This is pretty incredible. I think there's you can also just see the stamp of production.
Yeah.
The NBA standard
The
stamp
NBA
of
fingerprint is on
production.
that thing.
You know
Like
what I
the
mean?
NBA touched
Like I
it, bro.
saw halftime, they had those oaks on the trampolines. I said the NBA is trying to give
They
you a show.
do.
There's not even fans. There's not even fans in the stadium. They're saying no oaks that we're doing it. Those oaks were running to the stands like, yeah, come on. I was like, oaks, we're at home.
No
We're at
one even
home.
there.
We're at home.
When
We're at home.
they
I wasn't
ended
even
the
there.
feature.
The selling tickets, guys, come on.
No, I know, but like the point I'm trying to make is, I think one of the things that I think the NBA gets right is trying to understand how you entertain people at your stadium, and then also how to make something visually when you're watching it at home. You are now entertained as well in halftime with the big jumbotron in the middle of this of the court.
They actually had the same thing at the NBA Africa game
At the
where
NBA Africa
during
game,
halftime they literally gave away flights across the world, return flights, or they had an actual production. So the NBA, they serious about this stuff.
Entertain me, bro. Entertain me. But I think in terms of the players, I think it'll take them a while to obviously get used to. We want to see some of the skills. I personally saw a lot of like running, a lot of block shots. You don't see a lot of that flash and panache of one-on-one basketball and individual brilliance. But the funny thing about that, and you've always got to remember this about the NBA, there's rules put in the NBA to enable an entertaining basketball.
They don't allow defensive things.
Yeah.
My man, get out the key. Nobody's playing.
Yeah, you can't stay in the midline with your hands up. You can't just be
Bro,
staying there with your hands up.
Can you imagine if we got this league, 6-7 years ago, where we had some South African guys actually in the Neo, Fumani, Quinton, if they were actually still able-bodied? Like, how dope would it have been to see those guys playing at that level? It's just missed out on some of the best talent we've had playing that level.
Now that Brian is mentioning the players, this Brendan Costner guy that I mentioned from the Patriots. So because the league is only this year, due to COVID and everything, it's only running for 2 weeks. It's easy for them to bring guys who are also registered under other clubs in different leagues. Like this Brendan Costner guy plays in the CBA, other guys play in Europe and so forth. Now, how do we maintain this level if we have it for a period of 4 to 5 months or 6 months for that matter? Because now it'll force these guys to permanently move here for those 6 months. That's just one thing I'm trying to understand, because when the league was initially designed, it was designed to last longer than 2 weeks. Players are supposed to fly around to play games around the continent. How do we then, if we go past COVID, or even for next year, we can't have all this hype only for 2 weeks, I can understand that it's COVID, that they try to do all they can. Then I'm just keen to see what it's going to be like eventually after COVID, or once they've at least gotten the COVID situation under control, to see how we can have it for a long period of time. That's my only thing.
The way it was modeled out to be, right?
It's budget, man.
Exactly. What's up?
Yeah, and I think because of COVID, it's also pretty much of a taste tester just to see how reception is via like the fans and stuff as well, the basketball. So, and I mean, obviously, COVID is going to limit a lot of things. So, I mean, look, after post-COVID, we'll see exactly where the rollout is in terms of marketing.
But I mean, the quality of the players,
logistics.
All these players that are playing in China, Australia, Europe, that are here now for the BAL, they won't be able to get out of those contracts for that long, for 6 months or whatever. So then that.
I'll say this, Jack. It's only an inaugural season. It's only a 2-week bubble, so it is obviously a big test, like you said. But I can imagine when it's a full season, I think there'll be more restrictions and more limitations. I think them even getting J. Cole, who knows what's changed over the past year and a half for some people via COVID. So they might not even have had enough players and they had to bring people in. I think that's one for, it's a good question, but I think it's one that only time will tell. But I think as far as the inaugural season, they had to do what they had to do to fill bodies and fill with decent and able bodies.
And that whole contractual thing will be sorted out very simply, dog. You're going to be a player and you're going to have multiple contracts in front of you with multiple numbers in front of you,
Yeah,
and you're going to make
that's what the
And as
decisions.
well,
Premier League is.
sorry,
Nigga,
They played
sorry,
Europe and
sorry,
the
just
ask me
on that,
twice.
sorry, just on that contract thing, right? If I'm not mistaken, are there not WNBA players in their off season? They go play in Europe.
In Russia specifically,
150%.
in Russia.
Yeah, so like
150%.
I can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine if we would play in other leagues off seasons, and then that therefore will have like fit players or league ready players. Technically,
Yeah,
we will be there off season. Maybe I don't know.
but the only thing is, you see how even the NBA sometimes they don't allow their players to represent their national teams unless it's Olympics, because you're afraid you're investing so much money in this player, then
Yeah,
obviously
only
they're
NBA
exposed
invested so
to
much
injury.
money. No one else knows.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
a
what
big
I'm
point.
saying is some of these guys are playing in China.
Investment.
China pays good money. You know, some of
Yeah,
these guys
I think
are
that'll be a
playing.
good point, right? Once it
Yeah.
comes down to a contract, we can offer you this, China can offer you this. Make a choice, we'll do with
Yeah.
we'll make do with what we have. Just that's how it's all gonna
Yeah,
work. But only time will tell.
Obviously, there will be a lot of players who will not return to the BAL, which obviously also opens up door for a lot of players who are currently in Africa, playing in Africa, to obviously showcase their talent on this platform.
what I'm getting here is that Shine needs an agent, and the truth is, I'm willing to step up. I ain't here to try. I ain't gonna try. I ain't gonna try.
I'm going to the gym after
I ain't
this.
gonna try and sugarcoat
Hey,
this,
look.
but you know,
I'm going to the gym after this, putting up shots even right now.
Hey, Shine, let's put this on paper. I'm gonna get a contract. We're gonna get that done. I'm gonna get that signed. We're gonna
Look,
get. I
look.
got that. I got that.
Look,
ready.
I'll put my head in as publicist, man. I got your image right, dog. I
Dog,
get the
we're gonna
deals
say,
done, the sponsorships. You know what I mean?
we're gonna. Like, dog, we're gonna be entourage, dog. We'll be there, dog. We'll be there. We'll be there. But anyway, Basketball Africa League. Over the next 2 weeks, guys, please catch the games. The Fastbreak account will be engaging in and around the content. It's exciting times. Let's go over to the national.
Panicking.
National
LeBron's on the
Basketball
come up. Panicking.
Association.
LeBron coming up with it. Panic. LeBron is
relax.
Yeah, no, look.
My bad. The NBA season just ended. Let's dive into our season awards, end of season awards. Guys, we're gonna yell it out. It's just gonna be very simple. We're gonna cover MVP.
no rebuttal.
No
rebuttals.
rebuttal.
Give us
And you
the
just and you don't explain your guy. You name your guy and you continue. It's the next guy. Most valuable
guys,
player.
please don't attack me like Brian and Shaz did on Twitter
No, we
after I
won't.
said Ben
No.
Simmons. I'm just saying.
Okay. So
Because I'm fighting.
and the guy look, you just say your guy, and then you can ask. We'll ask questions afterwards after everyone has said their guy. So it's most valuable player, most improved player, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year. Okay. Now, and six man. Six man of the year. We don't have the raise your hand tools, not Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Okay, we're gonna start from the last one. Six man of the year. I'll kick mine off. Jordan Clarkson. Over to you, Lasedi.
I got Jordan Clarkson.
Okay. Brian.
Jordan Clarkson as well for me.
Nobody even ask you, Sean. I concur.
You got who?
Wait, I want to hear Shaz. Shaz could throw out a name.
Guys, Brian said something here.
No, he said he concurs. No,
He's a
it's Jordan
six man of the year. Six man of the year. Jordan Clarkson. So consensus.
It's unanimous.
The first.
This is a monumental day, bro. This is Koki. You see, dog, things just sort of flow in a smooth direction.
Koki would have chosen whoever the first guy is.
Anybody.
Okay, so consensus in the six man of the year award, guys. And I mean, look, Jay Clark, dog, he's done it. Okay, where are we? Rookie of the year. I'm gonna throw the. We'll start from where we ended. Shine.
Anthony Edwards.
It's definitely me.
You. Shaz. Shaz. Who's your?
Flamelo
Okay,
Ball.
thank you.
Flamelo Ball.
Breezy.
Anthony Edwards. Shine, you're my guy, dog.
Lasedi.
I got Anthony Edwards, bro. Kid's nice.
I'm definitely going with LaMelo. I don't even like him, but I think it's LaMelo. But okay, guys, let's
It
throw
must
it
be a
out
light
there.
skin thing, dog. There's no way. Anyway.
Oh my, you know what, dog? You know what? You know what? I didn't try it with you. Okay, my
Lavino just went
let's
off track there, man.
Damn, boo.
Lavino was on track and
Did
just
this guy
got
look at my
off.
notes? Did this guy look
Okay.
at my notes?
okay, LaMelo versus Anthony Edwards.
I'll
Who
go
who's
first.
who's no
I'll
no
go first.
who's going to represent Anthony Edwards and then Shaz can represent LaMelo. Who's representing Anthony Edwards there from
Shine
the three?
Lissetti and I nominate me.
Okay, Brian, chop to us.
Yeah.
Why? Why Anthony?
My boy been
Why Anthony?
averaging 19, 4, and 3, shooting 41, 32, and 17. Stats first, right? He's been healthy all season. Some players in certain categories get disqualified because they've been injured. That's just a side note, but whatever. But my boy is putting up big numbers. I think since they had a change in coach, he's become their primary option there in Minnesota, just like LaMelo Ball. But my boy is putting up big scoring numbers, and I think the edge is how healthy he's been. I can give you LaMelo Ball stats, but I'll leave that to you guys. I think as a scorer,
you made Cat scrub.
And Kid's got swagger too, dog. Have you seen his
my boy
interviews?
also has
Kid's got
swagger,
swagger too.
man.
Okay, yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Dog, his
vibe-
interviews
vibe-
are top
yeah,
tier.
no.
His
No,
interviews,
vibe
bro.
personality.
No way.
Vibe personality.
And highlights, bro.
He's gonna be a star. No, he's gonna be a star. He's gonna be great for
Bro.
the
And
league.
highlights.
He's gonna suck. He's
Yeah,
gonna take it
so
all
good
in.
back
Bro.
to
He's gonna
that kid,
become
bro.
something, yeah. Yeah, he's
So
good.
got
I
highlights.
enjoy him a lot. And he's a scorer.
Switching. Okay, Shaz,
That's my guy.
talk to us about LaMelo. How? Shaz, you're
guy's
on,
on
you're
mute.
on mute, mate. You're on mute.
You're new.
Anthony Edwards creeping up on you. Anthony Edwards coming up on you.
Look, okay, cool. 50. Let's call it 16. Five boards, 6 assists. Okay, guys.
Did you say let's call it 16? Let's call it what it is. What do you mean let's call it 16?
It's
Brian,
15.7.
can you let my boy talk? Thanks.
15.7, 5.9 rebounds, and six assists. Guys, but he has changed that team. He's playing underneath Terry Rozier, and he's pulling up those numbers. I mean, come on. And he was injured.
What about the great white hope, Gordon Hayward?
Shine, don't introduce.
No.
Yeah, don't disrespect Gordon Hayward. Don't disrespect Gordon Hayward, bro.
Guys, okay, cool.
How?
Yeah, for me, he's rookie of the year, and he was also the rookie of the year before he got injured. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I hear about Anthony Edwards. I hear about his run recently. But if LaMelo Ball was balling how he was balling before he got injured,
I'll tell you what, right? LaMelo Ball did change that franchise, but he became the franchise player. In terms of being the point guard, he is playing behind Terry. He is playing behind some serious dudes. But Anthony Edwards spent the whole season without his primary point guard. He had to learn to facilitate without any assistance from an all-star point guard. Terry Rozier and your boy Graham, they kind of borderline 6th-man player of the year last year in most improved. So I think Anthony Edwards had to figure it out a whole lot more on his own without a starting point guard and kind of put it together. Whereas LaMelo had to come off the bench, work it out, and become a starter because his starters were good enough to still teach him and bring him up. And LaMelo broke his hand, man. Anthony Edwards stayed healthy.
Anthony Edwards hit that rim hard on the poster and is still good, bro.
Y'all heard Brian want to throw shade.
That's done to the year. That's done to the year. That was mad.
Aight. Okay, so look, rookie of the year. We won't get the answer, but we know who's in the pot. We'll see what the NBA comes out with. Where were we? We were 6th-man of the year, rookie of the year, most improved player, most improved player. I personally think it's a foregone conclusion, but I don't know. I can't even imagine.
Can I kick us off? Can I kick us off?
Yeah. Shaz, hit us up.
He brought playoff basketball back to New York City.
Bet.
It's Julius Randle. It's Julius.
Bet.
I concur.
I concur. I have no arguments. I even like the Knicks. I want a jersey.
I see Leslie about to say something wild.
I'm so worried about that, man. I'm so concerned. Can you mute me? How do you mute me?
Lesedi, have
Look,
you
man.
seen a top 6 NEC meeting, my boy? This is you choose consensus here. You choose consensus.
Look,
This is
man.
consensus.
Look, man. I hear this Randall chat, man. Shout out to the Knicks. You know what I mean? They're doing great. We all love to see it. You know, as a purist, you know, I love to see the Knicks, you know, doing well once
Can
again.
the producers
You
get ready to
know,
shut
at
us
least in
down
my
soon?
lifetime. But you know, look, man, my guy Joel Embiid, dog. I really
Second
think,
guy,
Joel
bro,
Embiid is not. He's not
just
even a
most improved.
candidate.
for most improved, dog.
Get out of here.
Most
Can you guys
improved,
call
you
the
know what I mean?
producers?
Because look,
You
man,
guys gotta get this
my
guy
guy's
out. You gotta get
making
him out.
noise. You know what I mean? His highest in points, highest
Listen, I'll tell you
in
what, bro.
steals,
Oh my
highest
goodness.
Let me tell
in
you,
field
no,
goal percentage. Listen, dog. My guy is
I can see
making
where you're going.
noise, you know what I mean, in the Eastern Conference right now. Look, we could even say, bro, right? Before this season, we could say Joel Embiid has been a shadow of the potential who we thought he was, bro. Right? But now we're seeing that this guy, he's making things shake, dog. And the thing is, honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I'm seeing a lot from Joel. I'm hearing more about Joel Embiid than I am Julius Randle, and that's my take.
That's a lie.
You're
That's an
watching the
absolute
wrong
That's
lie.
thing,
because he's
bro.
a
That's an
most
absolute.
valuable
Okay.
player.
That's an
You will
absolute
always hear
lie.
more about an MVP than a most improved, brother.
Oh, that's an absolute lie.
Okay, cool.
Everybody been screaming.
Hey, look, man.
Everybody been
Everyone's
I'm
screaming
still
been
about
gonna sleep
screaming
Julius
easy.
Julius
Randle.
Look,
Randle.
I hear you guys, but I'm still gonna sleep easy. I know. Look, man, he's not my MVP, but he's my MIP. And yeah,
Okay, you know
Wait,
what?
can I ask a
I'm
question, Liz? And I've got to ask: are you saying the jump from where Julius Randle was last season to this season is not like incredible? I just need to know
Yo,
because
yo,
we
check
kind of
data.
we could
Check
we
data.
kind of
Don't assume.
expect
Hey, you'll be shocked, my boy. You'll
we
be
kind of
shocked at the disparity. Like, hey, the data
like
sometimes might lean in Joel's favor in terms of improvement. It might.
no, but the leap. I'm not
Right.
talking about. I'm talking about the leap. We expect Joel to put up MVP like numbers. We expect no damn Julius Randle
yeah, but
to be the most improved player.
obviously, Sharp. We already know that Joel Embiid's ceiling is much higher than Julius Randle's. But what I'm saying
He
is
was an
that
all-star.
even
I
with
don't
that
know
same,
it.
if
Get out of
okay,
here.
cool. But I'm trying to tell you,
I don't.
what I'm trying to tell you is based on previous season, Joel Embiid has improved much more in the degree that Julius Randle has, and that's my
You
take.
know what? Can I just say I don't even know
Julius
if
Randle
Joel
was
Embiid is the competitor for. I don't even know if he's the
this
next guy.
award.
You know what? All right.
The
You
next
know
one,
what?
don't say
Anyway,
it, Les. Don't
let,
say it.
yeah. Let's no. Let's just
It's fine,
continue.
but it's my take. You asked me,
Def-
and I told you. Anyway,
my basketball purist. No stress. Okay, let's go over to the
Check
defensive
Twitter.
player of the
Check
year.
Twitter in 5
Wait,
minutes in an hour.
before we move on, that's some terrible analysis. I won't lie. That's some. This is,
Okay,
that
okay,
is,
okay. Shaz, I hear you. Let's move over to the defensive player of the year award.
Start
I
with
don't know who
Shine.
we got it.
Start with Shine
Who
because
we
he's
got in the pot.
ridiculous.
Nah, I want to start with Lissetti. Lissetti, defensive player of the year. Y'all out your numbers, sir. Who's your guy?
nah, man, I got my guy Rudy Gobert, bro. That's who I got.
I would like to second Lissetti's submission. I'm co-signing.
How about Benjamin Simmons?
My man,
I'm with
Brian
Benji,
is my
I'm with
guy.
the Rudy Gobert. I'm with Rudy.
Brian is
Benji.
my guy.
I
But
got
it's
Benjamin Simmons, Benjamin Button, Benji. I got Benji.
but
Benjamin
it's
Simmons.
kind of it's yeah, okay. It's okay. It's fine. Whatever.
It's tough
He
for that
goes
award
one
to
to
go to a
one
big
to
man,
four.
bro. It's tough for that award to go to a big guy because big guys generally by the hoop, they be blocking shots, and that's kind of you be told.
Dog,
I need a
Gobert,
perimeter, man.
Brian,
He got
Gobert take
what?
bro.
Brian,
He takes switches.
Brian,
He
come
guards the guards.
on.
Brian,
He gets crossed
Brian.
Six
up
switches.
so
He's on
badly.
everyone's highlight reel. He's on every god's highlight
He
reel.
gets crossed up every time he's on an island. He can't.
Listen, the NBA
He's
has a
not
lot of
lateral
talented
enough.
guards.
Benji,
You see what I
Benji,
mean?
he can guard
Bro,
a 1, 2, 3,
ain't nobody
4.
drop points on Benji. I
No, they be smacking Benji, my boy. They be smacking
No.
with a
Actually,
30
all those top points are when he wasn't playing, but I'm telling you that, bro.
Nah,
Oh, so he's
not
Benji
durable.
got some points against him.
He's
Who?
an unhealthy gent. He's unhealthy. Benji. Oh,
Guys,
alright.
can I ask a question? So does Bam, because Bam be going around the internet
Bro.
telling us that he's the best defensive player of the year. So I just want us to just 100% contend that he is not in.
Bam has a lot of things
Draymond
to worry about, but the
Draymond
defensive
Green
player of
is
the
also
year should be like one of them.
Draymond Green is gonna make some noise via that defensive player of the year award. Watch.
Which one?
Yo, I can't believe what
Which
I'm
one?
reading, huh?
Which one?
They're gonna throw Draymond Green is gonna be in the
Which
voting. I think he'll be top 3.
Yo, Draymond
he
Green
will
was
be. He
nowhere
can't.
until everyone started
Bruh.
making noise about Steph's points. No one even saw Draymond Green in this defense.
Yeah,
Les,
because
remember
dog,
they
everybody.
were down 40. They were down 40 against Dallas at some point in like the third quarter. Sometime am I no damn Draymond Green, dog?
Exactly.
I'll
He's
give
gonna be he's gonna
Draymond
be
Green
top
trash
3.
talk of the year, dog.
Well,
Ah, I mean, I don't
that's
even
a
know if
3-time
that's true.
champion,
But
bro.
whatever, defensive player of the year. I think we know what the mixture is gonna be. Spirit Trophy.
Yes,
Hey, dog,
Spirit
take that.
Trophy.
I'm
That's
behind
what I'm
that.
saying.
I
I
think
said a
we're
boomer
Yeah.
chicka boom. Okay, let's go. Most valuable player. Now, before we mention the most valuable player, it would be good to hear what everybody thought, who they thought would win the most valuable player at the beginning of the season, and who do they believe will be the most valuable, or based on what the season now that it's over, who do they believe will be the most valuable player? And I think I'm gonna start with not you, Shine. I'm gonna start with Brian.
Kindness in hand.
Brian, can you kick us off with who you thought would win the most valuable player and who
Luka
is?
Doncic.
I thought it would be Luka Doncic. I think it should be. I think it should be Stephen Curry. No, I think it should be Joker. I think it should be Nikola Jokic. But yeah, that's my two. It's gonna be, and I think it should be Nikola Jokic. But I think Steph has put up a hell of a case towards the end of the season.
Shine?
I thought it would be Kevin Durant in the beginning of the season. And I think it should be, deservingly so, it should be Nikola Jokic.
Shazzy, what do you say?
Les, you know you're my guy. But I also definitely thought it was gonna be. I actually thought it was gonna be LeBron. Like the team was built ready for it to go, but anyway we move. It has to be Nikola Jokic. It has to be. Like he's just been consistent the whole year. I hear Steph Curry's run now, but Nikola Jokic been putting up the numbers the whole year. It should be Nikola Jokic. He's led the MVP race for majority of the year, and you know what? He deserves it. Sorry, Les.
You guys will be shocked, well, man. But all right, Lasedi.
Yeah, Shaz basically took the words out of my mouth. I thought it was gonna be LeBron. I thought like the way the pieces that we put around him and everything, because I mean he calls himself a pass first player. I mean he said that I think on social media a while back. But I thought it was gonna be LBJ, but it's definitely Joker. The consistency is undeniable.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Look at my boy struggling, finding someone.
he's gonna shoot that. I know that. But I think I'm with Shaz and Lasedi. I did think to start off the season, I thought it would be LeBron, if not at least KD. But it's Jokic. And then when Murray went down, I was first to tweet. Like I was like, "Oh, we go watch you now, nigga.
Yeah, now the
Are
team
you
is on,
alive?"
sure.
He said, "Nah." He still said it's him. So yeah, no, Jokic breakout season, big season for him. It's just, I guess it's just, we kind of wanted some drama in it, but it's just no one necessarily hates Jokic.
I
There's no
thought
like,
AD would have. I thought this would have been AD's breakout season, bro. That's really what I thought after the playoff, after a championship, after that boost in confidence. Bro, I'm so disappointed in that guy. So that's actually what I thought would happen from last year.
Are you,
Eventually,
Brian? Because I recall. Are you really disappointed in him, Brian? Because I recall you saying you were going to expose this man coming this season. So
that's the disappointment. That's
I thought you were
why,
going to keep.
because I'm disappointed. Therefore, I must expose it.
But don't worry.
So
Anthony Davis
wait,
go-
you wanted him to prove you wrong.
Anthony Davis go.
Wait, you wanted AD to prove you wrong, Brian.
I don't mind being proved.
Okay.
Steph Curry proved me wrong. I don't mind being wrong, boy. I just thought he would do something. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
but look, I think some of the guys that I thought would have had bigger seasons, and I know there was injuries included in all of that. I think Embiid had a big season. I think Giannis also still had a big season.
Yeah, that guy's good.
I don't believe KG. I mean, not
Damn
KG.
Giannis. Damn
KD's
Giannis.
trajectory.
Damn Giannis. Damn Giannis from this
But
season. Damn
KD's
him.
trajectory pre-injury was
Yeah.
MVP-ish. And then there was a James Harden period where you thought, is this the guy? And then who else was like high seed and still playing well?
Game time for a
Kyrie
second.
was
Then
balling.
Dame
they did it.
time. There was a time Dame time. I thought it was over. I thought it was like Dame time is gonna collect this thing. But yeah, Jokic has actually kind of been the most consistent. You can't and team
Even
record as
Embiid
well.
at some stage made a real chase.
Yeah. Look, the injury thing, I guess you can always factor that in, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else we can't what you want a cookie. We can't help you, if that was your life, dog. You know what I mean? Yo, the whole of Brooklyn is disappointing. One of them should have been top 3 on the MVP discussion. Spoon to
Yeah.
Benny, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first on the Fast Break. All right, so we wrapped it up. That's the season awards. Let's go into
Coach
the
of the year?
play-in tournament. Dog,
Coach
they
of the
already
year has been
adapted.
decided,
They
bro.
adapted. Woj announced. What did Woj
I
announce?
hate guys. Monty
Wait, who won?
Williams. Look, it's Monty Williams.
Monty Williams.
Of the Phoenix
It
Suns.
should definitely.
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, it should be.
Guys, it
Yeah.
should be the
That
coach.
sounds
Yeah, it
right.
should be.
No, it should have
sounds
been
right.
the
Yeah,
guy
that
from the
sounds
Utah
right.
Jazz. Ain't nobody's.
Utah was what?
Utah
Fourth
Jazz
last
coming-
season? Ain't nothing special happened there.
Yeah, man.
Ah, guys, that is special
Guys,
actually.
Guys,
What?
the
I don't
Utah
know
Jazz
actually.
big-
No.
Shaz, I
In
think
my
Shaz-
opinion,
it could have gone either
First
way.
is not more special than from 9th or 10th to second.
Phoenix was definitely the
best
dark
team
horse
in
of
the
the Western
league.
Conference, bro.
Guys, the
Many
Utah
teams
Jazz-
are the best team in the league, but they don't have the
Yeah,
best
but
coach.
Phoenix, dark
Guys.
horse for real, bro.
I think it
Oh.
could have
But
gone either
also,
way, man.
look, it's very difficult to say that this coach deserves it, especially if most of these coaches got there because a lot of the big teams suffered injury. I mean, had LeBron James and Anthony Davis been fully healthy, we'd be having a different conversation right now.
We were third when they were healthy, Shine. We were never first or second. We were never up there with a healthy Laker.
I think the Jazz were gonna always be good. I don't know about the Suns.
Number one.
But also the Jazz-
number one in the NBA. Good.
The Jazz have kept it even with their 2 best players being injured. So
How long have they been
maybe
injured, Shine?
Donovan Mitchell's been out for a while. It was enough time
Not
for
a
them
while.
to drop from
5
first to
games,
like
right?
third.
It's 5
not
games
5
or so.
games.
You know, it really is. It's a handful. It's like 2 weeks.
5 games
Like
in the
10
NBA,
games.
Brian. No, guys, 5 games in the NBA can be 1 week. Don't trip.
Yeah, but that's,
7
what I'm
days.
saying is that they should have dropped considerably from being number 1. Without the 2 best players, they should have dropped to like.
Nobody knows
4.
that Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are their 2 best players because they're not even in the MVP conversation, but they number. No one
I'll
knows
say
that Jordan
Mike
Clarkson is
Conley.
their best
Brian,
player.
I don't like this culture.
Jordan
that you have. I don't like
Clarkson
when you say
is
this.
the best player
but
in Utah.
Breezy, what
He is the most valuable player in
about
Utah.
now?
He
Brian
just
will-
dropped a
eye
40-point
He's
chicken
gonna tell you
dinner
about
the
eye
other day.
test.
Did Brian just say chicken dinner? I'm done.
40
I'm
pieces
done.
of it.
Listen,
40
The
pieces.
Nuggets.
let's go into the playing tournament, guys, before Brian hacks me. Look, guys, I don't want to get it. Look, this playing tournament thing, dog. You know how
Can I
this
get my
shit is.
LeBron James crown?
You can put it on. You can put on your LeBron James hat. Let me tell you,
That's
initially,
the crown, Les. Come on, throw some respect on that, bro.
Look at
no
my Buddha. You see my Buddha? He says Jazz got picked last at the All-Star game. They ain't got it. Buddha himself got picked last.
Listen, so the playing tournament format. Look, I'll be honest. I don't think I ever fully understood it. So this is what it is. So 9th place 10th, 7th place 8th, right? And I'm gonna give it to you in the Western Conference format because we're interested.
No one cares
With
about the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bears there. But actually, this Celtics and Wizards game, I'm curious.
It's happening in the
So when the Lakers play the Warriors, if the Lakers, the
When
winner
the
of
Lakers
that, the winner of that game
When the Lakers
goes and
Okay.
plays the Phoenix Suns, right? They go and play the Phoenix
What a
Suns in the
pleasure.
second round.
What a pleasure. What
The-
a pleasure.
Right?
What a mismatch for the Suns.
Then the loser of that game goes and plays the winner between the Grizzly and the Spurs, who are 9th and 10th, and the winner of that game goes and plays the Utah Jazz. So technically, 7th and 8th have 2 opportunities to make it to the playoffs. They can either win this first matchup or win their second matchup, right? Now, in the Western Conference, 9th and 10th is your Grizz and Spurs. 7th and 8th is your Lakers and Dubs. I'm going to open up the floor for everyone's takes and predictions. And I'm going to go. Wow.
Lakers and 4.
Quiet. I'm talking to I'm sitting here with all Lakers fans. Damn. I have a couple questions for y'all, by the way. But
Who
I
do you
think
support before so we can prepare our rebuttals? Who do you
Brian,
support?
I'm glad you asked. I am a Golden State Warrior fan.
Good to know, sir. Noted
And,
with thanks. No.
with thanks.
Thank you.
But yeah, I want to hear from the Lakers fans. Would you guys like me to set the scene to maybe just get to ensure that your
Please do.
answers are
Please
appropriate?
do.
Oh,
Please
okay.
Yo,
No, I
dude,
just want to
I'm gonna
check. I mean, I would assume LeBron James is going to play on Wednesday, who, as I understand it, he is apparently the greatest of all time in some people's minds. So, and the Golden State Warriors, don't have Klay Thompson. They've got a highly criticized Steph Curry. Steph Curry, who Lesedi Devere said, it's shocking to start the season like this. Steph Curry, who Emmanuel Shine said that, Dame Lillard is going to have a better season. Steph Curry, who had to shoot 40% to prove
Les,
himself
he's
to
not
Brian,
playing.
to Brian Tabadi.
He's
Tried
not
to make it to
playing.
Brian Tabadi. So I just want to understand, how do the Lakers faithful feel about this matchup against the Golden State Warriors? I would assume with all of that, there is no.
I object to this
there
entire
is
line
not
of
a
questioning.
shadow
I
of a
object to
doubt.
this entire line of questioning.
I just
Deal
want to
with
know
it.
how y'all feel.
Dude, you're trying to
What-
lead us. No, come on. This is bad
I just wanna
journalism.
ask-
Bad journalism.
I would like
I
to
don't-
ask you, Golden State, what does it mean for you and y'all's GOAT if they lose to LeBron James?
It means we're playing that other game, Brian, and that's what I found out today.
That's what it means to the Lakers. That's what it means to me and my Lakers. That is what it means to me.
Look, okay, wait. Let's just talk about the one step further, right? Whether it's the Jazz or the Suns,
It's done.
that's going to be
Whichever,
a big
whoever's
night.
in eighth,
Yeah, whoever's
I've
in.
been saying.
No,
whoever's
Brian, what
in
I'm saying
eighth
is,
the
yeah.
Western Conference,
is
because
going
you're
to
not
be
safe.
whoever's in the number one.
Games,
No, Brian,
trying to
do you
run
understand what
from
I'm trying to
the
say?
matchup.
Is matchup-wise, I look at Lakers versus Utah. I still can't see the Lakers losing. I look at Lakers versus the Suns. I still can't see the Lakers losing. Both matchups still
Exactly.
look
You guys
great.
have heard what I say.
Light
right?
work, regardless.
Yeah.
I
Guys,
see Golden
okay.
State versus Jazz, Golden State. That's what I see. I see Golden State versus Phoenix,
Versus
Golden
Jazz.
State.
I
Either
thought-
of those
Why?
teams.
Based on
Brian,
I
Brian,
see
Brian,
Steph
not
Curry.
Phoenix.
wait,
Brian,
wait,
not
based
Phoenix. Not Phoenix. Not the same with Phoenix.
Based on Steph Curry, big homie.
No,
Oh, Brian is a Steph
In
Curry
a
fan.
7-game series, I don't know.
7 games, but then
I
have
still
home game advantage.
In a 7-game
man.
series, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So I would say out of these games, right? Let's say the Lakers. I think the out of the games between Utah, Golden State, and the Suns, I think the bigger challenge is still Golden State for the Lakers. I think
For the
they're
Lakers.
the most
Look,
that's the most
Liz,
challenging
you're trying,
team out
you're
of
trying
those
to
three
lead us.
teams.
Liz,
I'm
you're trying to
not.
lead
I'm
us.
actually saying that out of those three teams, name one player from the Suns and the Utah Jazz that can instill the fear in you of potentially winning a game like Steph Curry.
I'm not gonna lie.
Devin Booker.
Devin
The
Booker's
only
cold, that's a cold man.
listen, for me, the only fear I have is that dog Stephen Curry could just easily put in a 40-piece dog, and we can't do anything about it, dog.
Okay, let me tell you
That's
guys
the
something.
only fear that I have.
Have you guys
regarding
seen the
those
way
40
the
pieces.
Warriors lose? Have you guys seen the way the Warriors lose when they lose? They get like 40, 30.
They get like a 50
You know.
piece, yo.
Yeah,
Exactly
look,
my point.
Just to go back to being objective, right? I think because now I learned today that on Twitter, shout out to the internet, I learned today that just like you, Les, that if you lose 7th, you still have a play-in for 8th. So the Lakers will be in the playoffs. The Lakers will
But I
advance
tried
to
to
the
tell you
second.
guys this the other day.
No. Thank you, Shai.
I didn't understand it.
So now what I'm saying is that Golden State, at wherever they fall, if they make it into the playoffs, I think they will still advance. But my worry about Stephen Curry, I think the Lakers will take 2. I actually think Steph Curry will have a bad first game when the Lakers will advance. But I still think that man is crazy. Those guys have gone 8-2, 6-0. Stephen Curry's been hitting 40-point games every other night, like it's hitting 10 threes, 8 threes, 7 threes, like it's nothing. So that's why if he goes off for 2 games, we could lose. But we don't want to lose to Memphis or San Antonio or whatever. So that's also why the Lakers are fine. But Steph Curry, that's a real guy. That man is a monster, and he's playing the best basketball. I think he's played in a long time.
Sorry to interrupt, Brian, but I had a message from Koki. She was saying that she told us that the Lakers are going to play in the play-in tournaments. You were just telling me to tell you that she told you so. So
she's right.
I'm just sending the message. Don't shoot the messenger,
Koki, you're
please.
right.
Please.
From the abyss.
Koki was correct.
But all I'm saying is it doesn't matter. People are worried about playoff, play-in. We here for a chip. Like LeBron said,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy to me? There was a lot of criticism, I feel like, on the internet about how the Lakers are doing badly and how we've fallen from the 3rd place to the 8th seed or 7th seed. But my thing is that how is it that both the Jazz or Phoenix don't want to face the Lakers?
And the Clippers.
But there's so much left. But so many teams don't want to play. So many teams don't want to play the Lakers, but we're so bad apparently.
So let's hear from Shaz. He had his hand up.
Just on a purely basketball point of view, I will be shocked if we allow Steph Curry to hit more than 25 points. I wouldn't bet money on it. We are still one of the best. We are still one of the best defensive teams of all in
the best defensive team in the NBA. Still something the Lakers are holding on to.
Yeah, cannot. We've got too many matchups for him. We're throwing everyone at him.
The reason Steph Curry will not drop plus 30 against the Lakers is not because of his inability to. It's because they're gonna be blown out that they'd rather rest him for the game against the San Antonio Spurs. Not because he can't score 30 points against.
No, that's not true. If he's playing, he's playing 100%. He's not gonna play half. If he's playing, he's
playing. What I'm saying is by the third quarter.
By the 3rd quarter, they might just pick.
The Lakers will be.
If it's within 10 points, they're not going to try and go for it.
I'm not talking 10 points. I'm talking 25.
What? That actually makes sense. Looking at a strategic point of view, they have a better chance of making the 8th seed than the 7th seed. So rather have your best player performing at a high level for the 8th seed.
I also think
unless Ja Morant shows you flames by mistake.
I'm
on my Ja Morant.
He doesn't have this thing. It doesn't snap all the way, bro.
Who's carrying that team, bro? Offensively.
But anyway,
offensively,
Ja Morant, I'm on my Grizzly.
Let me rather say scoring wise, it's Dylan Brooks.
But look, I think this matchup, everyone obviously wants to see it. Everyone, the Steph and LeBron narrative has been for a lot of years.
You didn't give us a prediction, homie. You've just been dancing around. What if LeBron or the Lakers lose? What is your prediction?
That's not what I said, Brian. I was asking, why do you guys have any doubt when a clayless Golden State is playing?
Who has a doubt? That's what I'm trying to find out. Who has a doubt?
I have a doubt.
I thought we'll show you. Ain't nobody got no damn doubt.
Brian got some doubt because Brian doesn't believe that LeBron James can beat a clayless Golden State Warriors. And I don't know why Brian doesn't believe that.
LeBron James is 36 years old and he just got 1 rebound. Anyway, I want to hear from you.
Why cares so much about rebound?
What are you saying about
Brian Drummond grabbing 20?
Let's be running away from the questions.
Brian, I'm trying to talk. Brian, they won't give me this. No, look, I don't believe Golden State can. You know what? Actually, I do believe.
No, you don't.
So
Golden State
is going to beat the Lakers.
No, you don't.
Yo,
Golden
there's no,
State
there's, there's,
Warriors
there's, there's no
are
Baron
going
Davis.
to
Baron
win
Davis.
Read this snippet of the show.
There's no
by
Baron Davis. This is not we
5.
believe. This is not
They're
we
gonna
believe.
win by 5, one and done. And you know,
That's terrible
and the unfortunate truth, you know, this is what
You
might
don't
happen
believe
to the
that,
Lakers.
Liz.
This I do, and this is unfortunately what might happen to the Lakers for the bad karma and the nature of their fans is that they're gonna lose. You better put that little finger down. They're gonna lose because Anthony Davis is gonna go down, and
That's
then
how
we're
bad
gonna
karma.
realize that.
Yeah,
And
Davis
then,
is not
Don't
bad
put that
karma.
into the
and
universe.
just push
then,
Liz, don't put
injuries.
that into the universe,
and
bro.
then when
You
it
Are
have
you
another.
happens,
crazy?
you will
Liz,
pay
You
out
your
of
have another
you,
man.
you out
Yo,
of
you
all
will
people cannot be
you
wishing
must
an
pay
injury on
your
another
listen
player.
to me.
respects.
Hot
You
take.
must pay your
If the
respects.
Lakers lose Anthony Davis but get LeBron at 100%, we are winning a championship. Book
I
it.
said this a few months ago, and I'll stick
Is
by it.
LeBron James
LeBron
currently at
James is the key to the
100%?
championship.
Is LeBron
not
James
No,
currently
No,
at
he's
100%?
still nursing. He's still
He's not.
nursing his ankle.
Oh, so
There's
LeBron's
talks
not
of
at 100%.
100%, but
I have
Nah,
a question.
LeBron on his Michael
So if
Jordan
he
flu
I have a
game.
loses,
question for
He's
the
on his
panel.
No,
flu
there's no
game.
if
He's
he
on his
loses,
flu.
we're winning, Liz. We're winning.
He's on his flu game right now.
LeBron James does not have a Michael Jordan flu game because he's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan
He's
is a
good to
champion.
have. He's
The
gonna
I
man-
have
have
a
not-
question
not-
for the
game.
panel.
Okay, yes,
I have a
Lesedi.
question for the panel. Does a win in this game have an effect on either player's legacy?
only LeBron's. No one cares about Steph. It's only when LeBron loses.
Yeah,
Brian
because
has a-
remember, you see, Lesedi, what you do is you've got to look at what that legacy is, right? So if you dare to enter into the GOAT classroom, add maths, you understand? If you choose to do, if you attempt to even put someone in that GOAT classroom, you must perform at that standard. Are we together?
So basically, if you win,
I have a follow
sorry,
up though, but
I
like,
win,
is
Now,
you-
unless
you
you're
win,
never
willing
get a
to
buy
say
that
that
is-
the guy's, unless that legacy is not GOAT, comfortable
So
to
let's
say that.
if LeBron James
no. But
loses
with that,
to
but with that
Steph Curry,
said, hold on.
you disqualify him from the GOAT conversation if he loses
No,
to Steph
bro.
Curry.
No, I mean, I
But
don't even
wait,
believe that a loss
look,
for the
I
Lakers
think, look, this
would
matchup,
impact.
is very
I don't think this
interesting
matchup.
because it's no, because it's the apparent. Okay, I don't want to say. Okay, let's say apparent. Best
I
player
want
of
to
all
hear this
time
one.
versus the best shooter of all time. So
That's
based
not- there's no
on the
Those things are
but
apples and apples.
based on that, but what I'm trying to say is that if Steph Curry doesn't show up via his shooting, is there some criticism to be given?
Guys,
Oh,
Steph
yeah.
Curry.
Nah, shooting is online,
I-
offline. I'll say this.
No,
I'll
Brian.
say this.
uh,
Yeah, okay, it's a big game and he choked, but he's had many of those and he'll brush it off because it's Steph Curry. You know how it goes. I'll say this.
yeah, because he's
You
winning
know, Steph,
championships.
nobody criticized Steph Curry. If the Lakers lose
He's
this
winning
game,
what
it
championship?
won't be that LeBron James lost to Steph Curry. LeBron's narrative is going to be the playing tournament sucks. We were seventh, then we were. LeBron James has a tendency to cry but not cry. That's what he's going to say. But the narrative will always be that the Lakers couldn't even make the playoffs. LeBron James wasn't the playoffs. He couldn't beat a hobbling Golden State team, and he fell out of the playoffs in what seemed to be a back-to-back with Anthony Davis, Drummond, and the best defensive team with a great coach. And that's what's going to hurt his legacy. I think it's deeper than just losing to Steph Curry. I think that actual loss in itself and falling out of the playoffs this season, the year he got injured, I think there's LeBron James is hobbling, LeBron James is falling back. That's what I think. Shaz
But
has a hand.
he still has an opportunity to make it through, even if he loses
Yeah,
to
in the
Steph.
other round. In the other
Yeah,
round. Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what I
I was
wanted to
saying.
bring
No,
up.
no. I'm saying if he loses and doesn't make the playoffs. I'm saying not even that. If he loses that
Right,
as
that's
well,
not
it will
possible. It's not possible.
Bro, that's in a different.
I agree.
And Adam Silver won't allow it, bro.
It's just because the Spurs and the Grizz. But Lesedi, I agree with you though. And I think it's about how they both show up. If Steph Curry shows up, plays well, and makes threes or whatever the case may be, and he plays well, I mean, people might consider a loss more palatable. If LeBron also shows up and plays well, people might consider a loss more palatable. If either of them deviate from the mean, right? So their greatness standard, people are and that results in a loss. People are going to throw it at them, right? So if Steph shoots below 40% from three, if LeBron turns the ball over 8 times because he's the league leader, all-time playoff turnover leader.
But Steph could play well and shoot less than
That was not
40%. You could still do a lot.
That's a
Oh, sorry.
rubbish point to randomly
Les
throw
is
in back.
so
What did you say?
selective about his
I didn't
stats.
hear it. I
Bro,
didn't hear it.
why the turnovers, dude? Why
I didn't hear it. I
that
didn't hear
one?
it.
All
that one?
time, the
Why
goat
that
of
one?
turnover in the playoffs. All
Then
time.
I
It's not
averaged
about the
25
goals
You
of
points
need
in
to
the
get
past
to the
15.
playoffs a lot. You know the
It's
rules,
not about
man.
the goals of points in
You're doing that
playoffs.
too much.
Yeah, he can be the goat of points in the playoffs. He doesn't win a championship. Yes, Jazz.
I want to say this. The big criticism for LeBron, and this is where I'm probably going to be tough as a Laker on him. This is where Kobe used to say, just give me the ball. This is where clutch players are made. This is where, forget about everybody else. Forget about this thing of everybody get a touch. We need LeBron to just say, 60 points when we go play like Phoenix.
He's 36 years old, bro.
No, not only
Everybody
that,
goes-
Brian. This narrative that
Everybody-
LeBron is not clutch is the
He's
biggest
not
lie.
a scoring. He's
Yeah.
never been that kind
No,
of baller.
But can I tell you something?
Hi, look at
This is
Brian excusing him. Hi.
No,
but what
this
I'm
narrative
saying
that
is that-
LeBron is not clutch, LeBron is not a scorer. After Michael Jordan, the player with the highest points per game in a career is LeBron. So this narrative of LeBron is not a scorer,
Yeah, but-
he's not clutch.
But the
That's horseshit.
But the BMT. This is a lot of criticism about his BMT. The advent, guys.
This isn't even the biggest game of the playoffs. The wildest
Yeah,
thing
but
about
it
this,
is. But for
this
him,
play-in tournament, these guys actually have 2 opportunities to both make the playoffs. You could actually choose your pick.
It's not that big a deal to go.
I don't believe this
guys,
is.
can I
this
tell
is
you
a
why?
shift.
Liz, it's a huge deal because if we must go play another game against the Spurs and then somebody gets hurt, LeBron, you see, we could have just had Anthony Davis
yeah.
another day. And all it takes, and this is Olympic Golden State. Let's blow them out, rest some knees, and go blow out Phoenix. That's what we need to
Okay.
do.
Okay, guys. Let's run it over to the Eastern Conference. What's your guys' takes? And I mean, look,
Wizards,
this is
my boy. Shouts to Washington Wizards and my boy.
No,
Agent
man.
Zero.
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
I never
Don't you
thought
put
I'd say
my
it.
man.
Russell
Don't you put
Double.
my man.
Guys, I actually I won't lie. I'm behind the Washington Wizards. I'm behind the Washington Wizards.
Thank you guys.
I'm
I appreciate it.
I
It's
never
been a
thought
long
I'd be here.
season
I
of
never thought I'd
teaching.
be here.
I've been trying to bring you guys in for the entire season. Welcome to my boy Dash. Look at my boy.
But Brian, you see, this is my problem with this gent. In the playoffs, he makes bad decision after bad decision, turnover after turnover.
Yeah,
I'm praying.
It's like
that
some,
Russell
some
Westbrook-
superstars that wear number 30 that just play bad in the playoffs. It happens.
ain't no comebacks there, is it?
The whole
Oh,
playoffs,
snap.
the whole playoffs. Check the numbers. Check those numbers, Brian. You know nothing. You know nothing. You know
Jon
nothing.
Snow. You know nothing,
No,
Jon
man,
Snow.
I take it back. You can take it back to 2018 when Russell Westbrook got eliminated. It wasn't him. Paul George gave him 5. He dropped 45. So check the numbers.
Charlie, don't you ever say a good thing about Russell Westbrook, bro. Don't you ever. Not you.
I don't want to 2011 the NBA finals. Okay. So
Wait,
Not bad, Brian.
Also, guys, also
You're
another
gonna
thing.
be
Like I
mad
said,
on TV, bro. You're gonna be mad on the TV.
yo, let's hear Shaz. Let's hear Shaz.
like I said in the first week of the show, if the Boston Celtics have the nerve to get out of these playoffs, they gotta blow that team up. Everybody go
Yeah.
somewhere else. Kimba,
Hey, shouts to Farrell. Shouts to Farrell.
Jason Tatum.
Farrell.
Yeah, no, they gotta blow them.
Everyone gotta go.
Yeah, no, it's been enough, guys. They've been deep in the playoffs for the last 4 seasons or so. It's time. It's time.
Yeah, you gotta
Time.
They
blow
were
them.
in the conference finals last season.
Dog. The
You gotta
Celtics.
blow it up. You gotta let it go.
I don't know what people are doing with that roster.
And you know what's
I don't
funny?
know.
We spoke
Cheese
about this a
boys
week ago.
is what they
we
are.
spoke about this a
Cheese
little
boy
over a week ago.
basketball.
We spoke about
Cheese
this a
boy
week ago.
basketball. I've
And
been
we
telling
said
you.
that the Boston Celtics would make it over the Miami Heat based on their schedule.
Hell yeah. We gave them the dab. We gave Boston the dab.
I feel like I gave Miami that gap. I think.
Boston was 4th at some point. Like, how are we here?
Yeah, bro.
How?
But you know,
And-
4th and 9th in the East is separated by 1.5 games. You know, it's hot that side, man.
But you got a buck ass team. Dude, come on.
But Jalen Brown's
Is
out.
really that buck? Is Boston really a buck ass team?
Jalen
Right.
Brown
You
is
just keep on
Brian, on
You-
paper.
Really?
Guys.
Like Lesedi said, cheese boy
Marcus
basketball.
Smart and Patrick Beverly are the same gents.
Cheese boy
The
basketball.
same gents. They are actually on paper, they sound great, but they are so mild, bro.
Brian hates
Put J. Cole on that
Cheese
roster.
boys.
Put J. Cole on that
Oh
position.
my god. Bro. Brian, you're gonna
Okay.
hack Shaz. You're gonna hack.
Not J. Cole. Not J. Cole. Not J.
Alright, guys.
Not Jermaine.
But the album
think-
fire though.
Okay, I want to wrap it
Shout
up
out to the
with I want to wrap it up with two things. I want to hear your special mentions, and then we have to wrap it up with so what are your special mentions, and what did you get wrong to start off the season? What was your predictions that you got wrong to start off the season? I'll kick off. So my special mentions for the season are respect to Draymond Green. I think Draymond Green was pivotal in the Warriors ending up where they were. Respect to Luka Doncic. Luka's a bad man. Luka's a bad man.
That's a killer.
And then,
That's a killer, bro.
now he's a killer. I really love.
$1 billion, my man.
I really love Luka Doncic. And then, what did I get wrong to start off the season?
Multiple things. How much time we got? How much time we got on the set?
Don't be a hater. Shouldn't have doubted Steph Curry. He was the best out of Trey, out of Dre, out of Draymond, whoever the Dame Lillard, whoever the best point guard in the league, best season.
He's still 8th though.
Playoff.
So winning matters the most to you, Shine?
Shine muted. Conveniently
Isn't
muted
it
his mic.
all about winning? I'm gonna say, isn't
I
it all
want
about
you to
winning?
say yes, because if you say yes, I will find you.
Les,
Say
you
it.
know where I'm at. You know where I'm at.
Concede
know
to
where I'm
winning.
at.
Concede
You
that
know
the
where I'm
most
at.
winningest is the better.
You
Concede
know
to it.
where I'm at. 73-9, and what happened? You know where I'm at. Let's come for me.
All 73 and 9, nigga. I don't know about that.
Yo,
You
bro.
know.
I give a special mention.
Steph Curry.
I give a special mention to Golden State Stephen Curry, my boy. I think there was never a time where I thought he wouldn't at least make 8. A lot of my chats for the entire season were, if he doesn't, I'm coming for him. But my boy, the guy, he locked up in the last part of the season. I think even without his, also does Golden State with Clay become a championship team? That's another story for another day. How much anyway? But shout out to Stephen Curry. I think he's really put up some big numbers towards the end of the season. I think he's pulled it out when it mattered the most. And I'm not that I'm impressed, but shout out to him for doing what's kind of expected of a player of his caliber. And I don't know if this is his best season ever, because there was a season where he hit 402 threes and got unanimous MVP. But he led the league in scoring in a position where he has no one that has an IQ to set screens and to set them up correct. So the shout out to Steph Curry, bro. Draymond's busy passing the ball, bro. 15 assists, 12 of them come from Steph Curry, my man. There's nobody else.
Screens, brother. Who's your special mention, Brian?
Special mention, that's Stephen Curry, bro. That's Stephen Curry. Also, what I thought I'd get wrong, that's Stephen Curry. I don't think he'd play so well at any point in the career. So that's another dab to him. I thought he would struggle to be in the MVP conversation. I thought he'd struggle to put up big numbers efficiently.
Brian, there's something I'm going to hit you back with.
with.
Brian, I'm going to hit you back with something, but I'm going to get it out of my time.
Oh, man.
Breezy owes all our listeners an apology. But I remember I wrote down. But I got you.
We'll get there.
What is it? Okay, Shaz.
I would like to yield my time.
So
you know you want to yield your time because you need to chat.
So what I remember,
is
in the middle of the season, at some point, I remember making a very big call. I said, these Utah Jazz guys are definitely...
Oh, no.
Definitely.
No. I'm not apologizing for a damn thing. Still pretending.
Definitely good.
Still pretending.
I'm definitely
The Utah Jazz fraudulently passed all of their COVID.
Look at Rudy. Hey, Rudy.
The Utah Jazz had stunt doubles and doppelgangers.
Those
How
guys
is they
got
so healthy?
220 million over 5 years. Rudy
Yes.
Gobert.
Unless Shaz can tell me right now. I know he's earning. Unless Shaz can tell me right now.
I remember the exact quote.
I hear you.
Let me
What
tell
is the
you.
quote?
Let me tell you the quote. You said they're playing real playoff contenders in the next 12 games, and I don't see them going above 500. And I said, that's a big call. I said they are going to go above 500, and they did on that 12. And then you said, there's no way they remain in.
Objection.
Go to the tape.
Do you think the Utah Jazz are making it out of the first round? Answer me that.
No, that's not the point. Apologize for your bad analysis on basketball.
For thinking. I would like to apologize. I apologize for thinking Utah Jazz of the what's their Salt Lake City or something like that. I apologize for thinking
Salt Lake City. Respect Kamala.
I will repeat this apology in a month's time because I still think that. And Shares, you're gonna owe me one because they are not advancing beyond where they are right now. I told
you that'd be a surprise package, and here we are. Number one seed.
As Koki would say, what does that even mean? If you're not gonna win the championship.
No, hold on. Wait. They play great basketball. Special mentions from my end. Loves to see Derrick Rose come back. Having a great season.
My God.
He could have been there in the most improved if we were there for sentiment. But Jordan Clarkson had it too much. Shout out to guys like Julius Randle, really embracing New York and putting them on the shoulders and bring Spike Lee into it. I love that for basketball. And then, real special mention, Bree's gonna hate me. Chris Paul really proved how great a point guard he is. That's me.
Wow. Yo, we ran over time.
Guys, I haven't said anything yet. I haven't given my special mention.
Go
ahead.
First of all,
Chris Paul.
I completely. First of all, I'm gonna retweet whatever Brian said about Steph Curry. I never doubted that he was a great player, but I didn't think he was gonna perform this way. I spoke trash on him. And Luka Doncic as well. But I must also admit, Trae Young, I don't think Trae Young would even be 10th in the East based on how they started, especially after they lost Rajon Rondo. I must also give him my respect. And obviously, special mention to my boy, Goat James, for still leading that team despite being injured.
Why are we getting graphics every time you speak, bro? How Shine get the plug for the graphics? One graphic.
I know management. But LeBron James also for leading that team, even when he was injured, keeping us there. I mean, at least it wasn't a repeat of what happened 2 years ago when he got injured. So special shout out to him for that. And yeah, man, Stephen Curry. Yeah,
no, he's great.
That's a baller. Yes, that's a baller.
And as a panel,
I can't even imagine what you could say. Because it's been so peaceful.
Listen, it's lights. Okay. I swear, I'm not here to shake tables.
Shout out to Joel Embiid. Shout out to Joel Embiid for being
the most improved player, guys. Joel
Embiid. Listen, let me land, please. Anyway, look, I definitely put slander on Stephen Curry's name in the beginning of the season. But look. He's definitely showed me. I definitely slandered him, and I'm here to admit my faults. Stephen Waddell Curry, I apologize, bro. You are a deep guy.
You apologize because he's loyal. Hey, man, look, you 500K, dog.
I didn't apologize on all platforms. You understand? Apologizing on all.
You inspire me.
But look, special mention to Derrick Rose. If you know me, he's been my guy for time. And I mean, it's good to see that, it's good to see him playing, basketball that he's happy with and, him taking the Knicks to the, not only him, but like him part of that team. It's really good to see. And also special mention.
Him alone.
And also special mention to Melo as well, because we've really seen him grown into his new role that he's been playing. Obviously we've ever since I think the OKC days we were very worried as to can he be like a player that's on the sidelines, but he's really fitting into that role. It really shows a lot about his maturity as a player as well, his character as well. It shows about that. So shout out to Melo as well, man. Just I think it brings a lot of warmth to the old head basketball fans. I don't know. But yeah,
real talk.
Before you close us off. Also,
here we go. Here we go.
No, this whole panel owes one guy a real apology. We owe Russell Westbrook a big apology on this platform.
The whole
we
panel?
like-
The whole panel?
I've never
yeah.
slandered Westbrook. I've
Wait,
never
let me-
slandered
let me
Westbrook.
show
I'll
you
never
guys.
do that.
Because we question
Listen,
I've never
you've
slandered that guy.
slandered, bro. You've slandered everybody that can be, Lesedi, bro.
Look
You,
at
But
the
but not Westbrook. Not Westbrook.
guys.
Not Westbrook.
Let me
I
let me
Shaz,
let
yes.
me land it. We called him a terrible leader. We told him that this franchise is dead. We said Bradley Beal ain't got the shoulders.
those
Oh,
are your words.
Really,
Those are your
mine,
words.
and I know there are a lot of people
Okay.
mustn't hide behind me admitting my fault. A lot of people said the Washington Wizards, what are they doing? I want to give a lot of respect to Washington to getting to the play-in tournament. Yeah, that's my special mention.
I'd like to follow Shaz as well and step up. I'll own up, Oaks. I'll own up. You know, Oaks were writing names on the board, and you know, I was chopping. And look, I must apologize to Russell Westbrook. I used to laugh. I remember a show when like his name was mentioned, and I think I laughed. I laughed at
Because you're just rude, bro. Just a rude dude.
I
Come on,
apologize. Russell Westbrook, yo man, he's just it's actually it's genuinely incredible. Even this particular like the triple double thing is it's like it's actually incredible what he's done. And since he is playing so much better, you know, the Wizards. I thought the Wizards were going to be dead last in the league with 2 All-Stars, but I mean, Russell Westbrook
Shine would
wasn't
like to
even
go next. Shine would like to go next.
Pure respect, only apologies. Breezy, you've been driving the gent.
Been riding for my boy.
I
Been
can't,
ride
I
or die for my
can't
boy.
say I've been sure. Look, I mean, the same way you like to chop about where the Jazz might be at the end of the playoffs and how you think it means nothing, same could be said for Westbrook throughout the playoffs. But
They're knocked out right now. They'll be out in a week and a half.
no, but even his caliber of play, I don't believe he's going to give us what he's giving us now. But the long and short of it is, it's not really about that. I have to also just genuinely pay my respects for a triple double, even during a regular season over 4 years. I mean, that's ridiculous, bro. It's actually genuinely ridiculous.
Shine, your turn, sir. We'll take your.
First of all, I'm not gonna apologize for what I said about Russell because I never said he was a terrible player. I said he was a terrible leader, and I hated the fact that he said he doesn't care to win. And I can't apologize for that. A player who's in the league who says those things, I cannot apologize for.
What did you say about his losing basketball?
I said leadership. I'm not going to apologize for that.
When we spoke about losing basketball, what did you say?
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I will. The only thing I'll apologize because I got my prediction wrong for saying that Russell Westbrook would not be able to lead that franchise out of the slump they were in. I said he was a common factor for them not winning because everyone else was performing well at the time. I thought he was the reason they were losing. And I take that back because, look, if they play the Nets, well, against the Nets this season, they beat them twice. They beaten the Nets twice in the regular season, which I think is already a big achievement because in the playoffs, obviously, it's going to be different. You know, so I do apologize for just that, for getting my prediction wrong.
I accept all of your apologies on behalf of my boy Brody. I'll have a chat with him. I'll let him know.
That's all. That's the only thing I'm apologizing for.
I'll holler at my boy.
For him saying he doesn't care for winning, I'll never apologize for.
I want a bigger apology. I want a bigger apology from Brian about Steph Curry. I want a bigger. I'd like something.
I gave you my press conference.
Brian. I want something written, and I'd like it on the Breezy letterhead. Certified copy, please.
That's so
pretty. Anyway, gents, exciting times. We got the playing tournament tonight. What time are we tipping off? We got Boston and
it's tonight.
Yeah, dog.
It's 4 a.m.
Right, these things are happening 4 a.m. So we got Boston and what's this thing, man? What's the name of that team? Boston and the Wizards tipping up at 4 a.m.
Bro, you gotta apologize for this, bro.
And Lakers are tomorrow.
Even though we didn't. Yeah. Even though we didn't get into it too much, the Hornets and Pacers, interesting, you know? Just
not
just
even
passing
1
along.
minute. I'm so bored.
Pacers,
I like the Hornets.
If I could blow up the Pacers and take some of those.
I've got the Pacers. Karis LeVert, baller. DeMontis Sabonis, baller. Pacers.
Wait, Oaks. New Orleans and Pacers. What's happening here? Oh, the Hornets. Sorry,
Hornets and Pacers.
Charlotte Hornets. Yo, I was like, yeah, what was good? Hey man, I back LaMelo. I give it to LaMelo. He's gonna do it.
I'm
backing.
Pacers can.
I'm backing the Hornets just simply because
Whoa,
of
whoa,
the
whoa. When is
commentation.
Lakers and Golden State, fam? Is it today
Tomorrow.
or is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Brian,
It's tomorrow
But we
morning,
don't-
4 a.m.
4 a.m.
That's tonight.
No.
Yes.
It's not tomorrow, let's say. It's
Yes.
following that for
Yep, you see, I'm getting confused, fellas.
Oh, yeah, Lassetti, what you mean is
Wednesday,
Thursday
Thursday morning.
morning?
Lakers is Thursday 4 a.m. Lakers is
Thursday,
Thursday
Appreciate
4
that,
4
a.m.,
a.m.
bro.
yes.
Hey, y'all gonna be giving me a sleepless
Oh,
night
okay.
for no reason.
My bad.
Might have to get everybody on the live, you know, but when you're lying in your bed, you're watching a lap teasy. Yo, guys, my press pass expired, but can everybody just throw me a login of it? Okay, we're gonna discuss that
I got
later.
you, bro.
Thanks, bro. My dog. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for the show. We really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, follow Fastbreak Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Fastbreak SA. Please follow us. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on Thursday evening after what a show. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make that show. Just
No,
in case.
Les,
No.
No.
I could be
No,
very,
don't
very
make that
busy.
show.
Absolutely not.
I might have a lot of things to
Absolutely
do.
not.
I
On
might have a
Thursday,
lot.
you're here.
Absolutely not.
No, Corky is gonna take my place.
It just might be a full. It has to be a full house on Thursday. It just has to be.
I can't promise anything. I really have a lot on my plate. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We'll
Oh,
see
do you?
guys.
How convenient. How convenient.
Hey, the show is over. I ended the show. Thank you.
What do you mean you ended the show? Is management just taking everybody out?